This segment is sponsored by Michigan Auto Law. Big day coming up on July 1st. Changes that were originally made to Michigan's no-fault insurance law back in 2019 will take full effect. They will drastically limit the victims of car accidents from getting the medical care and treatment they need. Here to break it all down for us is Brandon Hewitt. He is an attorney with Michigan Auto Law. Good to see you, Brandon.
Good to see you again.
Okay, so the changes were made 2 years ago, but are just now going into effect. Tell us about what's going to change. A couple of big things, right?
Two major things are happening on July 1st. Number one, for car accident victims that were catastrophically injured or seriously injured and required in-home nursing care. So whether that's after a surgery, you need your bandages changed, or whether it is you have a family member who became a quadriplegic or paraplegic or has a serious brain injury following a crash. Up until July 1st of this year, if your doctor prescribed nursing care for you, the insurance company would pay either a family member or a company to come in and take care of you up to 24 hours a day, depending on the prescription. As of July 1st, that's going to change. No matter what your prescription is, even if it's 16 hours a day, 24 hours a day, the insurance company is only now responsible to pay up to 8 hours a day if that care is being provided by a family member. Now, you can bring in a company to take care of that person or you, but it's going to be much more costly. And a lot of people aren't comfortable with anybody that's not their family member taking care of them. It's going to be a huge change going from 24 hours a day to 8 hours a day, leaving a lot of these victims wondering what's going to happen.
And then the second big change is what?
Number two is a huge one, especially for a community like West Michigan that is kind of a medical mecca of the state. A lot of the hospitals, Spectrum, Metro, Mary Free Bed, physical therapy clinics, any doctor that treats auto accident patients are going to see their rates of reimbursement drop significantly, up to 50 to 55%. The reimbursements are now being tied to Medicare rates, and it's going to force a lot of these businesses, independent rehabilitation companies out of business. It's going to cost millions of dollars in losses for the hospital systems. Some estimates put that 8 out of 10 rehabilitation facilities are going to go out of business. There's going to be thousands of layoffs in this industry as far as taking care of auto accident victims. And there's going to be a huge cost shift now from the insurance companies onto Medicaid, where a lot of people are going to have to turn to, and therefore a huge cost shift from the insurance companies to the taxpayers.
And it's interesting because I remember talking to you about this when these laws were changed back in 2019. And what we got in exchange for this is a rate reduction that wasn't that great for all of us. And now, the victims, the people who we should be protecting most, right? These catastrophic accident victims are going to bear so much of the cost, not just financially, right?
Well, that's right. It was posed as a grand bargain, for the insurance companies and the Michigan consumers. Michigan consumers were fed, a lot of information that said, basically, you guys paid the most in insurance premiums throughout the country. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to reduce your premiums that you pay for your medical benefits. You're going to be allowed to choose how much coverage you want. And therefore, it's going to be this great bargain. What we need in return is a reduction in what we pay out, says the insurance companies. So what happened was you might have seen a $100 difference, a $200 difference in your premiums for a temporary period of time, by the way. That reduction in premiums on your policy only lasts until 2028. And what they got in return was to reduce doctors' bills by 50%, 55%, reduce attendant care by more than 50%, providing for these catastrophically injured people. And those changes are permanent.
It's a shame because you were saying to me, Michigan used to be pretty elite in the way that it cared for the victims of accidents.
That's right.
And this changes the game.
Yeah, for the longest time, Michigan was seen as, kind of a beacon for car accident victims. We paid some higher premiums, but in exchange for that, you were assured that if you were catastrophically injured, if you were paralyzed, if you were permanently brain injured, you're going to be taken care of for the rest of your life. And that's no longer the case. So it's sad. And it's that much more important why you should make sure you have adequate coverage. If you get in an accident, speak to an attorney to find out what your rights are and what you need to do.
All right. We'll put your contact information on our website, 13onyourside.com. Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, Catherine.